An environment of low interest rates, in fact 150-year lows in interest rates, unstable stock markets, longer lifespans, uncertain retirements, unstable economies, people have two big questions on their mind. The first, how much do I need to save for retirement? How much do I have to put away to guarantee a reasonable retirement income? And then the second is, how do I deal with unstable markets? And I'd like to share with you the insights I've gained from the literally thousands of conversations I've had on this topic with concerned investors over time. The first segment, or the first piece I'd like to share with you, is a piece that we've entitled, What is My Number? And your number is the amount of capital that you need to accumulate to generate the desired amount of retirement income. And you want to spend some time on this number because what some people do is they assume that they need much more capital than in fact they do. I'll share a story with you. I was talking to a fellow, a very successful guy. He earned about $250,000 a year as an executive. He was also a deacon in his church. And he felt a strong need to do more church, work with his church, and wanted to retire. Unfortunately, he felt his retirement was just a dream. He was looking to replace his $250,000 income, and he presumed he needed about $5 million to do that. And in fact, on first glance, that's about right. $250,000 would take about $5 million of capital at 5%. But what we found when we went into his situation was that he was making his maximum RSP contribution. He was paying about $100,000 in income tax, and he was saving very diligently outside of his RSP. He was also helping his kids with some things that was soon to change, and he had a large house that he was planning to downsize. So when we took all of these things out of the equation, because presumably when you're retired, you're not contributing to an RSP, you're not saving outside the RSP, and things like reducing the expenditures on a large home are going away, is we found out that the income he really needed to replace was about $90,000, and he was in fact about a year away from retirement. So he was going to be able to get to his dream of doing more work with his church in a much shorter time frame than what he expected. So you want to take some time to really think through what is your number. Now you'll see on this slide that we've presumed here a monthly income that's required of $10,000. And then below that we've got OAS and pension, and OAS being old age security, and either Canada pension plan or some pension income that's available. And we've assumed $2,000 of this income. Now one of the things that I find in talking to people is that they often don't pay a lot of attention to the amount of income that they're going to get from the government benefits. Yet between old age security and Canada pension plan, often you'll have as much as $1,400 of income per person available to you. So for a family that has two working breadwinners that are both entitled to CPP and old age security, this can be a significant amount of retirement income, in some cases $30,000, $35,000 for the couple. So it's worth finding out what your benefits, what your government benefits are, and you can find this out by calling Service Canada. So if the monthly income required is $10,000 and there's $2,000 of pension benefit, then you're going to need about $8,000 as an investment withdrawal from a portfolio. Now in the next slide, we're looking at the $8,000 times 12 months, which equals $96,000. Now what sum of capital produces about $100,000, and if we assume a 4.5% withdrawal rate, we come up with $2,222,222.22. Now we don't actually have to be that accurate, but for the sake of this example, that's what you're looking at. Now in the next slide, we're suggesting that your number, for the sake of this example, is $2.2 million. How to accumulate the $2.2 million is you take a snapshot of where you are right now. So on our website you can find a balance sheet that, if you'd like to take a look at that and fill in the numbers, it'll show you where you are at the moment. And then you take how many months to your retirement. You divide that, and it should give you an idea of what your accumulation is required. In some cases, you may not be able to get to your number. And in these cases, it doesn't mean that you have to give up hope. What it means is that you start the planning equation from the other end. So instead of looking to replace your current lifestyle, what you're looking to do is to figure out how much it is you're going to accumulate by the time you want to retire, and then look to build a lifestyle that is based on that amount of capital and that amount of income. So in some cases this may mean changing your lifestyle, such as moving out of a more expensive part of the city, or even spending part of the year in a low-cost country, or something along those lines. But you can either manage to the income you're going to have in retirement, or if you are fortunate, you can simply target to replace your current lifestyle. The challenge is to keep the retirement income growing as your cost of living grows. So not only do we need to accumulate a certain sum by retirement, but we also have to protect that sum against the effects of inflation. So not only do we need to accumulate your number, we also have to make sure that your number stands up to inflation over time.